It's about time that we became DELULU for our collective future. I think manifestation is a really powerful principle, a powerful law of the universe. You may or may not believe it. I do. I've utilized it, and I think it's friggin' awesome that it exists. But here's the thing, because our brains are still programmed by the system for the most part, lots of people come into manifestation and learn about the law of attraction and the ways that they use it or want to use it, or even seeing it being sold is manifest this house, manifest this car, manifest $1 million. And I'm not hating on anybody's game. Like, you do you. I'm also manifesting things for myself. But let's think about this. If each one of us has the power to create our own reality and attract whatever we want after we do the work, of course, why would we not use that power to change the world? I think a lot of the universal laws, but especially the law of attraction, really shows just how powerful an individual person is. I mean, you can also see this being backed up by science. This theory that we live in a holographic universe and that our consciousness controls that universe has been documented by the CIA as far back as the 70s. How powerful that we can literally change our experience, our reality, from our minds and bodies and beliefs. One person can do that for themselves. If we brought all of ourselves together to collectively envision the reality, the timeline, the experience, the world that we would live in, that shit would happen. It's time for us to stop being so focused on our individual needs and come together to collectively create the future that we are dreaming of. Because guess what? In that future, I can nearly guarantee that if you're watching this video, all of your needs will be taken care of. And all of the needs of your entire family will be taken care of. Because that's the world you want to live in. That's the world I want to live in. Sure, I want to have nice things and I want to have beautiful experiences and I want to have love, all of these things. You deserve that. I deserve that. Everybody deserves that. But we also all deserve to not have to work. We all deserve to experience life at its fullest and have a roof over our heads, not have to kill ourselves to keep that roof over our heads, have good, clean food to eat, be nourished with good, clean water. That is all possible. But what it takes is the same as manifesting, right? We need to collectively envision that world together. We need to start to see the picture of what it could look like. We need to get DELULU about the future. When I think about it, I can even think about a city. I wouldn't necessarily want to be living in a city, but I imagine cities like in Asia that are already starting towards this process, where an entire skyscraper is made out of natural materials, bricks made from mushrooms, and the outside is completely covered in plant material, which has a cooling effect and keeps the building cool, air conditions it, and has a symbiotic effect. I'm not an engineer, but this is where my mind goes. Where we have, what are those things called? Like monorail kind of things, right? Going through the cities, that there's no more cars. It's either public transit, walking, or riding a bike. Or if you're in a cool place, riding a horse. I also imagine that in places that we now think of like suburbia, there'd be no more lawns. Everybody's lawn would be a full food garden and they would be open to anyone. Everyone could just pick from every garden because there'd be so much food that you'd want to give it away. If you've ever raised a garden, if you've ever even grown one zucchini plant, you know that there is so much more than you could ever possibly eat. You're practically begging people to take zucchini off your hands. And in that process, we'd start to feel our generosity come back online. The experience of having extra makes you want to give more. The experience of sharing and seeing the joy of cooking for someone or sharing that food and how they feel about it makes you want to do it more. I also imagine free range type of schools. I think about kids just going off into the forest and obviously supervised, but just getting to explore and learning about the things that they're seeing before they maybe even know the name. There's some things that I've read and heard about how once you name something, it loses its mystery. For children to actually choose their own course of study, what interests them? Maybe they like the trees, maybe they like the buildings, maybe they like art, whatever it is, they get to choose that course of study. And from a very early age, the things that interest them and light them up get to be cultivated so that their purpose in the world becomes so clear from an early age. Oh, even thinking about that gets me so excited. These are all things that are not only possible, I believe that they're coming, but we need to collectively use our power together. We need to be DELULU about our collective future. Listen, there's plenty of time to be focused on yourself. And I'm all for like hashtag reclaim selfishness. I think we do need to really focus on ourselves in a lot of ways. And also, it is time to remember what it's like to live interdependently, to live in community, to think about our neighbors in such a way that it's not just about our own survival. This system has gotten us into a place where all we can think about is our own survival. But we have to push ourselves past that point just a little bit. If you're completely tapped, then maybe this isn't the right moment for you. Or actually, if you're so completely tapped, this might be the exact right moment for you. Because once you start thinking about a better world, envisioning that better world, it actually gives you that first grain of hope. We need what's called active hope, which is coined by Joanna Macy in their book, Active Hope. Active hope is not just hope for hope's sake, right? People can get so over this idea of having hope. No, it's seeing what we're walking towards, believing that we're walking there, and taking the action necessary to get there. So when we think about manifesting, there's two major steps to take. And of course, there's more than that, but the two main steps that I think about is you have to create the vision of what you want to call in, what you want to see happen. Number two is you have to uproot the subconscious programming that has you believing that you can't have these things. So if we apply that to our collective future, we have to create, envision, and engage with a future that benefits us all. And then we have to uproot the societal and familial programming that has gotten inside of us. This is why we feel so hopeless. This is why we can't imagine anything different. All we have ever known is a capitalist society where we have to work ourselves to the bone to survive. And our parents before us and our parents before them. But here's the thing, when we think about that period of time in human history, it's like a little tiny blip. It's so minuscule. And for so much longer than that, humans have been in communion with nature, in right relationship with the earth, right relationship with ourselves and each other. Listen, we're not perfect. We've never been perfect, but it can be so much better than this for all of us. And it has been better, and it will get better. But here's the thing. We need the majority of us focused on that future and moving towards it. We need you. I offer this work one-to-one. So if you want to do a deep dive and start to scrape away at all of that societal and familial programming that has you blocked from living your purpose, creating the change you wish to see, and holding on to that vision and walking towards it, this is that work. It's called the Chrysalis. It's a 3-month intensive, and that info is in the description. I'm going to start hosting weekly meditations and visualizations for just this thing. So if you want to know more about that, click the like button, subscribe, comment, tell me what you're interested in, tell me what you envision in our DELULU collective future. Thanks, y'all.